Minister of Power, Works and Housing, Babatunde Fashola, has called on Nigerians to embrace the newly hiked electricity tariff. The minister, in a chat with journalists in Abuja, said the hike in the electricity tariff was as a result of increase in the price of power components.
Electricity is a product. It is made from raw materials. Some of the raw materials are gas. Some of the raw materials are power plants. They are also labor. So the issue of tariff is a simple issue of price. When the raw materials costs go up, the price cannot stay the same. Now, you will probably ask, oh, why can't we have more power first before price goes up? I would like that to happen too.
The minister also explained that the new hike in the tariff was meant to sustain power supply across the country.
We see that investments in power are not where they should be by government. And because part of the reason why government opted for privatization was to get more private capital in. If the recovery price and the income and profit price doesn't make economic sense to the investors, would you do that business if you were the one as well, if you can't recover? So all of you represent media houses. There are costs to your advertisement rates. If the costs don't make sense to your business economics, clearly you won't carry adverts.
Muyiwa Bamdele reporting from Abuja.
Following the 29th January Supreme Court ruling that Ejike Ogwebegow's faction of the People's Democratic Party in Anambra State to be reinstated as the authentic group to pilot the affairs of the party in the state, some of the candidates in Ogwebegow's faction called on INEC to give them their certificate of return. They also faulted the interpretation by Senator Andy Oba that the court ruling did not remove them from office. Senator Annie Okonkwo and Prince John Emeka, in an exclusive interview with Pen Television, said they are the recognized group according to the ruling and will soon be at the National Assembly to do their legislative duties.
I think this is a laughable situation because those people do not contest any election. A lot of people will recall that our names were published by INEC and we campaigned. We made it possible for the election to be won. Those people are not even the candidate. It has been shown, from the Court of Appeal tribunal judgment, one of them, that the Court of Appeal say they were not properly nominated. And I think the Supreme Court judgment have confirmed that all of them were not a proper candidate of any political party, and therefore they have to vacate their seat. I'll give you the analogy. Yes. We are nominated candidates and our names were published on the website by INEC. You can go back. As at the close of nomination, January 13, 2015, it is clear. As at that date, only a court order that says, like what they are saying now, remove John Emeka can remove me, or I die, God forbid, or I resign. Then a court of appeal set aside the judgment of the Federal High Court without any consequential order. They were hanging in the balance because they did not start a case. Let them show me where they started a case against me.
They recanted the genesis of the crisis in the party and called on other groups to join hands with them to build their party, adding that all must come together and help the country come out of its present economic state.
INEC, for some reason, because of pressure from upon inquiry from high quarters, from then high places of the government in power then, the PDP-led government, influence and pressure, in total disobedience, to a total this day Electoral Act yanked off a name and put in the name of Ms. Odwa.
From Abuja, LM Chukwemeka reports.
The Senate President Bukola Saraki has said the success of 2016 budget implementation will depend on non-oil and independent revenues. Senate President made this known while commissioning the renovated Senate Press Center at the National Assembly Complex in Abuja. He explained that the crude oil benchmark will not have serious setback on the implementation of the budget.
We have keep on repeating this many times. If you remember, even during the time where we're talking about the leadership, one of the issues, the mandates I came forward that we will have an open, transparent 8th Senate, and I still want to be held to that. Also during this process, of course, the National Assembly budget too also will be debated, and by the time the final document is over, I can assure you that we're going to move away from the time of one item line National Assembly to the National Assembly where there will be breakdowns according to the different sections of the National Assembly.
Speaking of the National Assembly budget, Saraki said the Senate is working out modality to make public the legislative budget breakdown.
Whether it is achievable, I think this is why we are now having the MDA defense before the committees to be able to test some of the scenarios and some of the assumptions, particularly on the revenue side, because if you look at the revenue, out of our 3.8 trillion, 3 trillion is coming from non-oil and independent revenue. The success of the budget, in my own view, is less on the benchmark to me. It's more on those two items, non-oil revenue and independent revenue.
Meanwhile, the National Assembly have been criticized for operating secret budgets. Muyiwa Bamdele reporting from Abuja.
Suites, number 1 AMO Road off Epoch GRA, Benin City, Edo State. Website www.prestigehotel.com.ng. Email info@prestigehotel.com.ng. Telephone number 070-620-84038, 081-519-74044. Prestige Hotel and Suites, world-class hospitality.
Director General National Commission for Museums and Monuments, Malam Yusuf Abdallah, has reiterated federal government's commitment to continue working towards protecting, preserving, and promoting the nation's cultural heritage. Abdallah, who stated this in Abuja at the signing of Memorandum of Understanding between the Commission and Diaspora Africa for Digital Image Museum, said the project seeks to help Nigerians access images and use them for academic and recreational purposes.
The purpose of the MOU been signed today is to establish the respective rights and obligations of the two partners, that is NCM and the Diaspora Africa Limited. That's the group we are partnering with in this exercise regarding the commissioning of high-resolution photographs of 100 oldest man-made artifacts provided by the Commission, and the development, establishment, administration of the African Cultural Heritage Digital Museum, including the exhibition of images of the artifacts, marketing, promotion, and the use of the images and revenue generation from the said images.
The images are for sale, but what we will be doing is periodically we'll be renewing those images. We're looking to commission to get Nigerian photographers, so it's like we are showcasing what we have to the world. And so people will come periodically, come with different angles, and so the platform is there forever. As long as we keep renewing it, as long as we keep having this understanding, it becomes a constant, perpetual way in which revenue can be derived to preserve these artifacts. And by preserving these artifacts and by actually making people aware of them, hopefully you should see more people visiting museums because they're aware. So you see a photograph of something, oh, where is it? And it might be in Ife or it might be in Lagos. And that prompts a trip there, and so the museums themselves begin to get more traffic. And like I said, most importantly, we inspire people. As a country, we really need to be inspiring our younger generation to go out there and compete. And one thing that we do have that is undisputable that we can use to do this are these priceless artifacts that were left to us.
He noted that African Heritage Digital Museum shall be ready and inaugurated on May 18th, which is also the International Museum Day. From Abuja, LM Chukwemeka reports.
As part of measures put in place to diversify the Nigerian economy, especially as it concerns local production of goods in the country, all is now set for the third edition of Made in Aba Trade Fair in Abuja. The trade fair, which is the constituency project of Senator Yinaya Abaribe, senator representing Abia South Senatorial District in conjunction with the Small and Medium Enterprise Development Agency of Nigeria, SMEDAN, is aimed at showcasing goods made in Nigeria, which mostly competes with imported goods. Addressing newsmen at the pre-event briefing in Abuja, Senator Yinaya Abaribe said this year's trade fair will take a different turn as the aim is basically for empowerment.
Bill that Nigeria has to carry, and that puts a lot of pressure on our foreign exchange. And the way they have tackled it is to try to restrict the items that they could get foreign exchange to import. I've looked through those items, and textiles and all that is also part of it. So what I want to do is to continue to encourage every Nigerian that there are too many things that we get from outside that are already within this country, and that will help us.
Director General, Small and Medium Enterprise Development Agency of Nigeria, SMEDAN, Umar Bature, said if the small business in Nigeria were harnessed, the over-dependence on oil revenue will be a thing of the past.
Between the Senator and the Small and Medium Enterprises Development Agency of Nigeria, made in Abuja, to showcase products that are made in Aba to the general public. This is the third time that the Made in Aba Trade Fair is taking place in Abuja, the nation's capital. And over the years, people have come to appreciate the quality of goods that have been showcased during the trade fair. And it is my sincere belief that the one that is held this year is not going to be different. We are rather expecting an improvement in the standard of goods that are going to be showcased to Nigerians, because we know they have been able to receive a lot of capacity building over the years, and they have been able to learn one or more things that they are using to add quality to their products.
The trade fair, scheduled for the 8th of February 2016, will showcase different goods, from fabrics to shoes, belts, and other locally made products in Nigeria. From Abuja, I am Festus Ejiroge Nefifen for Ben Television.